Hi, everybody. Coach Brittney here, back with another writing activity. Today we're going to talk about shape poetry. So shape poetry is kind of where you use the shape of what you're talking about to help emphasize your poem. So if you're talking about a house, you write it inside of the drawing of a house. Or if you're talking about a tree, you write it inside the outline of a tree. So we're going to learn about what shape poetry is, see some, and then learn how to write our own. So again, as always, we always want to talk about what is it, define it for you. So what is shape poetry? Shape poetry is a poem that makes a picture on the page. The words are written in a particular shape or inside of an image to enhance the meaning of the poem. Now the big thing about shape poetry, it can be kind of one of two ways. It can be inside the outline of the image, so you could draw a house and then write inside it, or you can make the words make the shape. So we're going to see two examples, one with the kind of written inside and one where you actually use the words to make the shape. So I said you can use a lot of different shapes. So you could do it as a tree. So you can make your poem about a tree, and you can either make it look like a tree or you can make it inside of a tree. You can make it like a house. So again, it could be the shape of a house or inside of a house. It could be about a heart. It could be about love or the color of a heart. Or it could be about flowers. I mean, the shapes you can use are endless with this. These are some basic examples, but you can write about any shape you want. You can write about diamonds and circles, or you could write about oblong shapes, or you can write about a car, whatever you want to do. So we're going to do a little activity, and this is going to help you kind of think through what some words might mean to you and how they can maybe help you find the shape or the object that you want to write about. So the first thing is I want you to take a minute, I want you to pause the video, and I want you to find a piece of paper, and I want you to draw or write a few things that remind you of the word happy. When you hear the word happy, what objects, things come to your mind when you talk about that word? So take a second, pause, and then come back, and I'll show you what I came up with. So now that you're back, that means you have happy written on your paper, and underneath it you have either drawn a few shapes or a few pictures, or you've written a few words. So this is what I came up with when I think of the word happy. I have a smiley face because, as always, when I think of something as happy, it is somebody who is smiling. Oops. I have a sun because I think happiness is when I'm outside in the sun. I like the sun. I like it when it's warm. I like to go outside and feel the warmth and hang out in the warmth in the sun. So that's what makes me happy. Books are something that makes me happy. So when you say the word happy, I think of reading a book or being somewhere that is surrounded by books, because books are a big part of my life. They are a big part of how I define myself. It's how I see the world in different ways. So books, when you say the word happy, I think books. I also think chocolate when you say happy. I'm a chocoholic. I love all kinds of chocolate. Honestly, if you give me a piece of chocolate any time of the day, I'm a happy camper. So when I say the word happy and you tell me happy, these are the things that I remind of. So maybe when I'm writing about my shape poem, I can maybe write about the sun and why it makes me happy, or the outline of a chocolate bar and why it makes me happy. So yours could obviously be different. There's going to be different things that make you happy that don't make me happy or don't remind me of happiness like they do to you. There's no right or wrong answer to any of these. Our next word is soccer. When we think of the word soccer, what do you think of? What are some things that come to mind when we think of the word soccer? I have a soccer ball. I mean, that's the first thing that I think of. When you say soccer, I see the soccer ball. Or a goal. Again, when I see something soccer, I think of a soccer ball going into a goal. So obviously, goals are a big part of soccer. Cleats. I think of cleats when you're running around. Is it something you wear in your feet? It could be tennis shoes too, because that's we always, as we say, you have to wear tennis shoes or cleats when you play soccer. It is safety first. So these are type of shoes or this type of things that we wear. So I think of cleats, I think of soccer. And I just think of someone kicking a ball. So you have a nice girl here, she's kicking a ball. That's just something you do. I think of action sometimes when I think of soccer. So you might want to write about soccer in this shape poem. Maybe you'll write it inside of a soccer ball, but you're going to write about kicking a soccer ball. What do you think when you hear the word love? Take a minute, pause the video, write the word love at the top of your paper, and tell me, what do you think of when you think of the word love? Now that you're back, I'm going to show you what I think of when I hear that word. I think of a heart is the first thing I think of. It could be red, it could be pink, it could be all kinds of colors, but I automatically think of a heart when I think of love. I think of family. I have a very big family. I have a very close family, so I think of a family when I think of love. I think of pets because I have 3. I have a cat, now I have 2 dogs, so I think of pets when I think of love because they give me unconditional love. I give it back to them. There's nothing better to me than having the love of a puppy or a kitten. And I also think of love when it comes to helping one another. So I think that love comes from when you help people, whether that's carrying a box like these little guys in the picture, or whether that's helping someone with their homework, or helping someone find something at home, or helping with someone with dishes, or saying hi to someone on the street. All of this is helping, and it can be a big part of what I think is love. Again, you can define this word however you want. There's different ways that you say love than I do, but these are just some ways to think about it. What about the word stop? So S-T-O-P means stop. What do you think of when you hear the word stop? Take a second, come back. First thing I thought of was a stop sign, because first thing, I mean, it's written on the sign. So when you come down the street, you see the word stop, and you have to stop at the stop sign to make sure that everyone is safely can go, whether it's walking or driving. So first, I think of stop. I also think of the sign, do not enter. So when you see a big red do not enter sign, that means you're not supposed to go forward. It means you're supposed to stop where you are and not keep going. Whether that is going into a dangerous place, or going the wrong way on a one-way street, or going into a building or a house that is not yours. It could say do not enter. So these are the couple ways that I think of the word stop. Now you can have a bunch of different ways that the main stop means to you. Again, we are just getting some ideas of how we can think about things and maybe what we can write about. Now, pets. We talked about pets earlier, but what do you think of when you hear the word pet? So I need you to I need you to pause the video. I need you to write down the word pet, and I want you to think of all the things that you can think of when you think of the word pet. Now that you are back, you have things that are written down for pet. Let's see what I wrote. So obviously when I think the word pet, I think of pets. So again, I have 2 dogs and a cat. So those are what I think of as pets. I have these animals, they are my pets. I take care of them, they hang out in my house, they give me love, they wake me up early because they're hungry, but they are my pets. The other way I can think of the word pet is when you scratch a pet. So when they say you might touch an animal, it's actually petting that animal. So whether that's petting a cat or petting a dog, that's the other way I think of the word pet. Just now I was thinking that I could also put a heart in this space because I think of love when I think of a pet. So those two are connected for me. So if I'm writing in a heart as my shape, I might write about my love for my pets. So you can see how we can connect a lot of these ideas. All right, last one, fruit. When you hear the word fruit, what do you think of? Pause the video, write or draw as many things as you can think of when it comes to the word fruit. Now that you are back, I have shown you what I'm going to show you what I wrote. So first thing, I have apples, so I'm thinking specific fruits. So I think of apples, or I think of pears, or I think of watermelon. So these are all specific fruits. I also think of like a fruit salad. So I think of with all the fruits together. So in this picture, you see a banana and some pears, and it looks like kiwi, cherries, looks like an apple. That might be an orange or a peach. Not 100% sure what that fruit is. I'm gonna go with peach. But you can put all these fruits together and make a fruit salad. So you might have fruits individually or together. Or you got fruit juice. So I think of fruit, I think of it by itself, I think of all the fruits together, or I think it's squeezed into juice, because many different fruits can be made into juice, whether that's orange juice like the picture, apple juice, grape juice. There's so many different types of juice, pineapple juice. You can have a lot of different forms of fruit. Again, you might have thought something different with fruit. That's fine. But if you're going to write a shape poem, maybe you want to write about an apple. So you write inside the apple about why you like fruit. So now we have some examples of what shape poems look like and are. Do you need something, baby? You gotta go outside? So you're trying to tell me? You gotta go outside? You gotta go potty? Okay, you haven't gone potty in a while, so let's go. So here we have some shape poem examples. So as I said, we have an example where it's just kind of written in the shape. And then we have one that is written in, like the words make the shape. So the first one's called ice cream. It says, The ice cream van is coming down the lane. Luscious, lovely ice cream. I went down the lane for a creamy ice cream. Look, lick, lovely, luscious ice cream. Vanilla creamy ice cream with 99 flake. Lovely, luscious ice cream. As you can see, it is written in the shape of an ice cream. So somebody drew the cone, the ice cream on top, and wrote their poem inside of it. Now the second one here is Snowman by Ken Nesbitt. And as you can see, it's written so it looks like a snowman. So the shape is made by the words. So it says, it's cold outside. I want to go outdoors and play. My mom says I have to anyway. It's starting to snow and I'm going to freeze. Burr, burr, I hate playing outside on days like these. Burr, burr, but wait a sec. I have the most amazing, brilliant idea. Cover myself up with snow and I'll hide in here. So we talked about being a snowman or making himself a snowman, playing in the snow, and he made it in the shape of a snowman. So your poem, you look at it and go, it looks like a snowman, right? So those are different ways you can do it. So you can either use the words to make the shape, which is a little more of a challenge, or you can draw the shape and write inside. That is up to you as the poet and how you think you want to try it. So now it's your turn. As always, it is your turn to write a poem. So the first thing I need you to do is I need you to decide what you're going to write about. So in our other activity, we did an activity, we figured out how to look about love, pets, what we thought about being happy, the word stop. So these things can be turned into shapes. You can talk about happiness if you draw it in a smiley face. Or you can talk about love and do it in a heart. Or you can talk about stop and do it in a stop sign. So it is up to you which shape you want to use and how you want to do it. But you can choose your shape first and then decide what you're going to write your poem about that shape. So do you want to talk about love in the heart, or do you want to just talk about a heart? Do you want to talk about stop sign? Do you want to talk about having to stop? Do you want to talk about the sun or just being happy in the sun? How do you want to interpret using that shape? Write your poem in the shape or around the shape. As I said, decide your way, how you want to do it, what's easiest for you, what's most comfortable for you, whether you draw the shape first and write inside, or whether you write on the outside of the shape. Different ways you can do it, all up to you. And then decorate it. Decorating is so much fun. Make sure you color it, make sure you color the shape, add the decorations to it, because it is one of my favorite parts about shape poetry is not only do you get to write things and use your words to create something, you then get to be creative in the artistic way and draw and color on it as well. So do that and then come on back. You have written your poem, you have a fantastic shape poem, and now it is time as always to share it with us. We want to see your poem, we want to hear your poem, so please go on flipgrid.com, put in the code writing poems, find the shape poetry topic, and under that, submit your poem. You can show it to us and then read it. You can read it and then show it, but we would love to make sure we see it and we hear it. We cannot wait to see it, hear and see it. Remember, once you submit 5 videos, you will earn a $10 Walmart gift card. But you got to submit those 5 videos. It's either soccer and writing or a combination of both. We cannot wait to see your poems. We cannot wait to hear your poems. We will see you next time, guys. Have a good night.